Before we get started, I want to make something clear. I defy the cynicism and apathy that is pervasive in this age. The months leading up to Never Record Sarasota were a fever dream. Being a dad, working a day job, pursuing my quixotic art career. Let's just say it's like fumbling in the dark. I'd work all day on the trucks in New York, installing artwork in galleries and private homes, sometimes carrying heavy works of art up 7 flights of stairs, filling trucks with crates, stuck in traffic for hours in New York. Don't get me wrong, I love the people I work with and the people I work for. That fellowship is amazing. But I got into art to get away from rich kids and jocks. And unfortunately, I'm reminded on a daily basis that those are the gatekeepers of the New York City commercial art world. But I also got into art for the adventure of it. I've stood on a rock on the Antipodes of New York, in the southwest corner of Australia, and held a chord in my trembling hands as the wind played my electric guitar. I played the drums and roses outside of a colonial church in the Andes as Mass let out on Palm Sunday. And I've taught kids in Honduras and Dhaka in Bangladesh. Art is a mode of living for me. And the creativity and poetics that I prize has enriched my life and hopefully those around me. And so every day, after work, I'd feed and put Theo and Lux in a bath, get them dressed in their pajamas, and after a few hours of battling, finally get them to sleep. I'd put on my shoes at around 10 at night and walk my way to the studio, a studio that I rarely use, but pay so much to rent. And feeling exhausted and emotionally bankrupt, I would make work for Never Records at the Sarasota Museum of Art. Realizing that I have hoarder tendencies, I said to myself that I wouldn't reinvent the wheel for this Never Records, that I'd reuse materials from past ones that have already filled my studio, much to my studio mate's chagrin, Jeff. But as always happens, I get caught up in the making and the creation of work. That's what I live for. Whether it's adorning a scrying mirror with precious stones, silk-screening cardboard boxes, or carving into the body of a Philco radio. I couldn't help myself. It's all about the details. And I even got Al Diaz, who wrote Sema with Basquiat, to tag my fake brick, which I aged and weathered with acrylic. I never once felt like I was in control, that I actually had a cohesive plan, but I was just trusting my intuition and my past experiences that it would all come together. That's the great thing about being in your 50s. You know you can pull this shit off. So in spite of myself, I filled a 22-foot truck and sent it to Florida. And I built a chapel to the lathe. Never Records has always been about transcending time, transcending your body. But I never quite thought about it as a chapel or a church. How could I have not realized that I was going to make a church? A church celebrating the transcendental science that a diamond, vibrating to sound waves, can capture the ephemeral forever. And aren't we, as artists, as humans, vibrating to the resonance and frequencies that surround us, to write or create the poem or song of our lives?